So, we're going to talk about how the adoption process can be very daunting and how to get through this daunting process. Hi, I'm Stephanie A. I'm the founder of Adoption and Beyond. And I wanted to talk to you today about with any life adjustment, there is going to be complexities and the process is going to be daunting, especially when a family has come to adoption through infertility. We find that you've gone through all your medical procedures and then now you're coming to adoption having gone through so much already and exhausted a lot of your finances. And then now you're coming to adoption, which has its own complexities and a lot of paperwork. So it can just seem very daunting, but I just want to assure you that we are here to help, and we're here to help you get through the process and to take you through it one step at a time. You know, as Chris Kringle said, just put one foot in front of the other, and before you know it, you'll be done. One thing that's important is to not look at the big picture, because the big picture can be so overwhelming. I'm the kind of person where if I have a room that is cluttered and I walk into it, I just really want to turn around and just walk back out because it's just too big of a picture. But if I break it down into little steps, I find slowly, piece by piece, I get through the process. And that's kind of how you have to approach the daunting process of adoption, is just to break it down into little pieces. And that is what we're here as the adoption professionals. We're here to help you do that and to break it down into bite-sized pieces. One of those first steps that we help you break down is just contacting an adoption professional. Just listening to what they have to say and share. You know, you could spend hours out on Google just looking and seeing all the horror stories about adoption and just going down one rabbit hole after another. It's just easier if you just go in and talk to a professional and get some guidance and get some starting points from them. So like for us, we offer free consultations to families where we just kind of break it down into explaining a lot of things that they didn't even realize that they could do with adoption, and that there were 6 different avenues of adoption. So starting with an adoption professional can save you a lot of time and effort. Number 2 is deciding on what kind of adoption is right for your family. As I mentioned just a moment ago, there are 6 different avenues of adoptions, and we have a new mini course that I'm going to link to below that talks about the 6 different avenues, breaking it down into cost, time frame, process, and all that good stuff. And so that way, just deciding on the kind of adoption is the next step to take in the process. Then once you decide on the kind of adoption, so the third step is to decide who you're going to work with on your adoption process. And so that's step number 3. Step number 4 is to start on the home study process. So it's important to do step 3 first and decide what professional you're going to work with, because they may have requirements on who you can work with on your home study. But the next step is the home study process. And then the last step is preparing your adoption profile that is going to be shared with expecting moms domestically. That's how adoptions happen, is through profiles being shared. So that is the last step that you're going to want to do. And so those are the 5 different steps in breaking down and just helping try to help the adoption process not feel so daunting. I hope you found this helpful. So I hope you would hit subscribe, and don't forget our mini course, which we're going to link to below. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.